today we have a doozy. So I am launching a variant of my product, my jobs data product, which got about 11 million jobs in it. And we're going to go score technographics for the entire database, which means that I'm going to know when a company first mentioned any technology in their job descriptions. I will know the last date that they mentioned it. I will know density of mention so you could see how all in on that technology they are. And also, I'm going to be able to augment this from a variety of different data sources, not just jobs. So the task we have today is I'm essentially a brand new founder, right? Today is day one of this technology. We're going to sell it as an API and also a tool that anyone can access. But specifically, I want to focus in on the API case today. So what I love about this approach is I can sell it to companies like Clay to be able to integrate this technology finder inside of their tool. This means recurring revenue for me, fewer customers that can still basically consume the data transactionally, so they can consume as much of it or as little as they want. And I don't have to support 10,000 people at $5 a month or something, right? Which is generally the challenge with lower price B2B SaaS stuff. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to go to market for this thing, right? I have some hypotheses that I both need to do. I need to ground in the data, right? So I need to find companies that would use this, companies like Clay. I need to be able to identify the people that would buy this. I've got no idea the types of people that buy this data, so we're going to have to figure that out. Then what we're going to have to do is figure out copy. What am I going to say to these people? What do they care about? How do I deliver that message? Ideally using AI that is going to speak to what their customers might want from my data, just as an example. Then we're going to have to basically set this up to be shipped. So that's the goal in this video. It's going to be a long video. Kyle is the only person that watches these videos, and he knew... He knew that I closed my door with my shoe. I don't want to show you the bottom of my shoe. This is the top of my shoe. So there's going to be a little bit of antics in this video because why not? I've already closed the door here, so I don't have to use my shoe this time. But I want to dive in, and I want you to walk through my process. So the reason this video is going to be long is I don't edit these things. I want to expose my thinking to you as I go through and start to think about how would I think about targeting? How would I think about finding this person? What tools, technology, and processes am I going to use to do this? And this is going to be probably really helpful if you're an early SDR, early AE, early go-to-market, or a founder that is taking something to market for the first time, because you need to have a theory of your customer. Now, of course, it's always going to be better to have conversations with these people, but I know the space well enough, and I know these buyers well enough that I can get by with my intuition. I trust my intuition enough to know that I can come into this with hypotheses. Well, that is plenty of talking, so let's get to doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is start scratch. Let's go to Harmonic. I want to go to Apollo. I'm going to go to LinkedIn. I'm going to go to my favorite ChatGPT. We've got this image thing now, which is really fun. Let's close that. And I want to go to intent. So I got all my data tools open here. How come intent's you don't have to log into? Great. Got all my data tools. And I'm going to start with Harmonic, building my leads list here. Harmonic's a really great tool to be able to really narrow in on the best companies. So I really care that they're B2B SaaS, a wonderful filter in Harmonic. I want them to be North America. It's like pretty important. So we've got 106,000 results. Okay. They have to, let's see, do I care about when they raised? Maybe I care about how much they raised total. They probably have raised at least $1 million. That's 15 grand. Okay. But what's really important is they have to be in this sales tech space. So I'm selling to again, companies like Clay. Now, Harmonic does have a similarity score, which I might have used here, but for the purposes of doing this down and dirty, I want to say there are tags list. I want sales, great. SaaS, no. I think this is it, great. 2,700 companies. Let's just make sure that this looks right. Now, I could expand this with Apollo too, but remember, I'm just testing stuff, so I don't actually need best in breed solutions. Oh gosh, this is terrible. Okay, some of these I don't like at all. Let's just like pop them to a bunch of these websites. This is the dirty work that people don't like to like. AnyRoad is actually they're a bad company. The design intelligence engine. Yeah, so I want sales enablement. That's what I want. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to keywords, company keywords, sales, SDR, BDR, enablement maybe. Okay, much better, much smarter, smaller list of companies, which is what I suspect. And I really want to make sure they're big enough that they buy other data tools, which is really important to me. So let's see what Harmonic comes up with. Customer experience. These don't feel amazing either. Let's just like pop open some websites. I don't want to be part of the Amanatashi revolution. You will not believe product demos. Okay. Walnut's not going to buy. Descript is not going to buy. These are bad. I really need to be able to. I may just take this into so I can export. Every time I think about the depth of research in which I do, I always try to switch mediums instead of trying to solve the problem in the same way. So I believe that this is business software service. I believe this is probably the right designation here, these 2,700 companies. But now I really need to figure out which of the 2,700 are good fits for me. So that's already there. Okay. SaaS, AIML, data analytics, maybe. Next gen computing, no. Platform software, I don't know what that means. Okay. So we've got B2B SaaS, that's good. We've got another tag list here. We got North America, and they've raised at least $1 million. This is probably pretty good here. I don't think we need to go crazier. I'm going to pop over to ChatGPT here. I really want to first refine the companies before we even get into the people. All right. Let's export this. There's a lot of people in here. I don't know if I want that. Harmonic has a lot of really interesting data points. So funding, headcount. Okay, that's helpful. I care about the data team, sure. I care about growth of the marketing team. 90 days. That's like probably a pretty good sales, 90 days. That's good. Oh, web traffic. And then let's like look at web traffic. Yeah, this is like pretty good here. Great. So this will be helpful because I can know but I'm going to remove the team or the team LinkedIn profiles. I don't need the people yet. And that makes the export a little bit bigger, which I don't want to do. I don't need the relevancy score because it was scored from something else. All right, let's export this now. And now we're going to go into our good friend ChatGPT, and we're just going to talk to ChatGPT. Let's do that while it's exporting. Hi, ChatGPT. It's your good friend Jordan Crawford here. We are selling today to companies that license data sets. Perfect examples of this are ZoomInfo, Apollo, Ample Market, Clay.com. These are companies that have sales enablement tools that they license other sales data. Now, more specifically, what we are targeting are companies that might license software technologies. So, for example, Built With is a company that identifies which companies use software. I'm doing the very similar thing, but using historical job descriptions to identify companies that use Salesforce or HubSpot or things that you can't detect for someone's website. I'm going to turn this into an API, and I want to license this to companies that can integrate my API and pass on some of those charges to their customers, or license the data as an enterprise so that I get predictable revenue. I am going to upload a list of companies that have company description and other information about them. And I want you to first create my ICP and persona and do that in one chat. And in the next chat, I want you to identify a plan to ingest this data to give a company a score between 1 to 10 as to the companies that might license this data. Thanks, ChatGPT. All right, so I'm not in data analytics, so I'm going to have to jump to that. So I use this Whisper Chrome extension to just talk to ChatGPT. But the nice thing is on the app, it's built in. So thanks, Chatterbot. That's ironic. I talked to ChatGPT and it called itself Chatterbot. Hello, Jordan Crawford. That's nice. All right, we've got the harmonic downloads. Harmonic export. Here is, I always like to tell it the structure of the file too, because it's really helpful. ChatGPT, it's extra work. So I like to have this, and I'm just going to talk to it. This is the file. I want you to specifically focus on column F, company description. I want you to look at their headcount, column G. I want you to look at the last funding date, column O. I want you to look at the industry tags, column S. The headcount growth, which is column Y, and column V. And I want you to look at the funding total, column C. Take all of this information and before you begin, work out step by step how you think you should combine this information to give each of these companies a unique score. I want to make sure that the score encompasses their growth, the fact that they likely would leverage technographics data to sell or resell to their customers, and that they are a highly similar company to a tool like Ample Market or Apollo or Zoom Info or Clay. Can you work out your thinking step by step before we begin? And once you're done, then ask me to proceed and begin with the analysis. All right. So remember, what we want to do is we want to filter out the noise. A lot of good growth is filtering out the noise. And so I'm trying to talk to ChatGPT here to help it tell me which companies I should not focus on, right? That's why you get terrible reply rates, is that you just don't know which companies you focus on. Now, I have no idea. The how many companies are going to qualify for this. I just don't really have a good sense. The other way that we can do this here, and this is why I call this like multimodal, Ample Market, G2 competitors. So it's like I want to think of other ways that I might be able to do this. Now, maybe Lead 4-1, that's good. Cognizant actually would be a good fit for me. So I might actually then take in other types of data to see if I can identify good competitors. There's not a lot of wow. Like, it's interesting that Clay doesn't exist in a category. Oh, they don't have any reviews. Yes, I have used Clay. Oh, No, you got to pay me. Okay, let's see where we're at. Proceed, my liege. Closer to 13. Oh, I like how they came up with their own score. Wow. This is actually ChatGPT is getting smarter. Let's see how well this thing does. Like healthcare providers. Like a lot of these are bad. A lot of these are just bad. Like this is RevOps. Let's see, RevOps.io. I'm just going to manually look at some of these. It's really helpful to ground your, what the hell is this website? I guess I shouldn't rip on people's stuff. My website got trashed by ChatGPT recently. Yeah, essential app for sales. Nice. So this is really interesting, right? This is like, now it's like, oh, what are essential apps for sales? So interesting that as you look at, this is like so great because as you look into these great sales enablement, as you look into these tools, you're going to find there are other ways to find what companies are really helpful to alerts. Teams, data-driven coaching. See, like some of these are not good, but yeah, sales enablement's right. So you can kind of see like HubSpot has like tried to do some of this this work here. I really want data. Okay, let's go back to ChatGPT. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it gets a little goofy with the column names. Let's go back to here. AI note taker. Gone. Like a lot of these are just bad for me. Data management, maybe. Let's just see if Ample Market's here. I always think about doing this by analogy, really, like what kind of tools are in data management. Okay, that's great. So that's data management. But a lot of these are bad for me. HubSpot, Data, Google, that doesn't matter. This is great, probably. Yeah, there's not a lot here. But this is the type of company that I would care about, right? Let's see where this is great. Wow, it's like, okay. Can you give me the top 3 companies in the data set? Who has the highest scores? That's not true. Anyrood's not is not a good fit for me. Such a specific amount. All right, so I'm gonna log into Apollo here and see what we can do. There's a bunch of different ways to build an account list, and I like to do multiple different ways. Whoa, I have a little shortcut that's supposed to split this in 2. Let's go back to, okay, 6. All right, well, let's see what high level is. Whoa. Can you give me the website URLs? All right, I'm going to go into Apollo. Again, I really like, I just want mid-market companies. This is probably right. I only want want them to be in the United States. Okay, let's like see if these are good fits. Oh, very interesting. Weird. I don't know if that's a good fit. Hard to tell. Let's like try these other guys. We back. Oh, this is like. No, this is bad. No, these are bad. ChatGPT, these suck. I'm looking for companies that rely heavily on data, that provide data to their customers. So think Apollo, and I want you to heavily weight the company description. I'm thinking of words like data, company data, people data, person data. So, can you come up with a much better scoring system that is deeply associated with the company description first and foremost? All of the other signals are useful for sure, but if they are not licensing data, sales and marketing data specifically, they're a trash lead for me. So, can you come up with a much better scoring system? Okay. So again, I like to multi-thread problems here. So I'm gonna try while ChatGPT is ChatGPT. These suck. I hope it doesn't remember. It's gonna be really scary when they do that. And this is gonna be in internet too. I think these are the keywords here. All right, and let's do company keywords. Include sales, data, company, people. Okay, outreach could be good actually. Ooh, Duolingo. Ooh. Okay, B2B. This scoring rhythm is insane. I want you just to score on the company description, and I want you to look for as many variations of the text mining. So I want you to totally expand on company description and identify all of the keywords that might exist in a company like Apollo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the company description of Apollo for you so that you can use it in your analysis. Actually, we'll paste the Apollo website and the Clay website so you can find keywords that companies might use to describe themselves like this. Okay, so basically, don't log into Clay. Don't nice. Basically, ChatGPT is like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you didn't do a good job here, and so I'm gonna give it a bunch more. Don't puke. Don't nice. Um, so now, and you have to remember, it gets drunk after a while, or it has too many pizzas. I don't know exactly what the right word is here, but data, person data, sales data, leads, great. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, and only focus on this keyword model. So rank just the company description with these keywords. And you might find some additional nuggets in the industry tag or the technology tag, which is column S and T. But I want you to really focus on this company description. So go ahead and score the entire database by these types of keywords and then output the top 3 websites and their company descriptions to see if they're baller. All right. So we gave it, it's always helpful to give it some descriptions here. Now let's see if we can, let's actually just do this. Let's kill this and do, let's do leads. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Pipe drive. Science. Yeah, yeah. Science would be good. Seamless. Yeah. Rent.com. What is this? Oh, that is a leads company, but not B2B. Oh, it's really interesting. Lucia, that'd be a good fit. Okay. So we're starting to see this now. Enrichment. Let's do enrichment. Don't change a lot. Don't change a lot. Don't change a lot. Okay, good. That's what I was hoping for. Um, well, yeah. Okay. Okay, this is great. I feel good about this. I'm just going to export these companies. Let's make sure that export's good. While this, yes. So the nice thing about kind of being multimodal here is that ChatGPT can be doing its thing. We're using the harmonic data here, and it's probably going to be that the Apollo data is going to be more useful, and not because Apollo or harmonic the data is better or whatever, but just because I had a better idea of the bad ways in which I should target here. So I'm actually going to stop this the company analysis here because I want you to. I mean, you kind of got the point of how I think about this. And I'm going to create a. Okay, great. I'm going to create a folder for all of this because I'm actually going to have someone run an outbound campaign after this. But to do that, I want to make sure that as much of my thought process is included. So this is BP24. It's our 24th outbound campaign. API technographics campaign. TECHONO graphics, technographics. Oh, I did. Let's do that right. All right. So all we're gonna do here is we're gonna upload some files here. Okay, I finished. Let's get export. This data stuff really isn't that hard. It just takes patience to do the targeting right, and you really need someone that understands the market and the problem really well, and that's hard. Okay, so let's add these raw files here. So we got the companies here. We're gonna move on to people in a second. Wow, this could be. This is not exactly right. Yeah, okay. So this is not let's whoa. I was recording that. That's going to be a $5 API call. I wish I could stop it. All right, while we do this, let's just do companies. Okay, maybe let's try one more time to use Google to do this. Best company and lead data enrichment tools. Okay. So across the rep, interesting. Okay, these are right. So what I'm just gonna do is pop a bunch of these in because I really don't need a crazy amount. Oh, these are sponsored. I don't need a crazy amount of companies here. Oh, okay. So let's also do this and lead data enrichment tools for technographics. Okay, PDL is great. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. So I think ChatGPT can actually. Well, look at this. Um, let's see. I actually want to create a bifurcated model that will identify one, if this is a sales intelligence tool specifically, and two, if they focus on company and lead data and a lot of technographics. So, can you create a model that first means they must be a sales intelligence tool? If they are not a sales intelligence tool, I do not want them. So, that should be disqualifying criteria. And if they are, I want you to sort them by how likely they are to license APIs, which is like integrating other third party data sources. Okay, now I think that ChatGPT now, and I'm going to open a new session here. I want to say that recently they have added the ability to browse the internet again. I'm pretty sure. Can you browse the internet again? I feel like someone told me this. Ooh, last update in January 2022. It used to be September. Can you visit this site? Okay, so I think I've heard about this, so I'm gonna go see if I can. Okay, maybe I don't have access to it yet. Attach images. Okay, I can attach stuff, which is kind of neat. Let's go back here. Do it. All right, let's do this. Oh yeah, this is good. So what I'm going to do here is one more way, and then I'm done because this is a this is going to be a long video, and I don't want to keep you around for too long. So really, I think the best way is probably going to be to pull these companies, Clearbit, Enricher, InsideView, and then do harmonics lookalike feature. So I think that that's the best approach here because what they do is they look at density of keywords on the website. The other way to do this is to use the Clay agent, which is like this new sort of AI prospecting tool. It's like crazy, but it costs too much money right now. But it's really, really, really powerful, especially if you need multi-layer researching. But I'm going to stop here, and this is like good enough for the person that's going to actually take this person on my team is going to take this to market. So now we actually need to know the people to go after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new session. Okay, well, this thing's still working. Okay. Yeah, I'm unhappy with this result. Mm. Oh, yeah, this is actually perfect. Yeah, by industry. Oh, by sales. Let's see. Yeah, This is really good. So this is like a good example of it. So I'm getting closer here, but again, I don't want to bore you. So what I'm going to do now is I want to figure out who are the people that I should target here, and I'm going to start a new session because again, ChatGPT gets a little drunk, and I'm just going to do regular ChatGPT. I am selling a data tool that allows companies to ingest an API specifically for technographics, like who uses Salesforce or HubSpot. Perfect customers here that might buy my solution are companies like Clearbit or Data Axle or PIPL or ZoomInfo or Ample Market or Apollo, what I want you to do is to identify the person that might be responsible for buying licensed data at these types of companies. And I want you to give me at least the top 3 personas that are most likely to purchase this, as well as a confidence score between 1 and 10, how certain you are that this title or these titles are the absolute best. So I want to just find some place to start here. Okay, this is great. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look up LinkedIn. I want to give it some real examples. Oh man, I need to fix Divi. I have this like great app called Divi that like splits up my. Oh yeah. Well, maybe it's just a little drunk. I don't know why all my tools get a little drunk. All right, so and actually I know the ex chief data officer. So let's start with chief data officer. Chief data officer. I'm just on LinkedIn, my other screen here, doing some filtering. And I want all filters. Let's just do this over here. And I'm looking for company. I want them to work at a certain company. Apollo. Will this work? Why don't they? Ooh, there's like a lot of Apollos here. I'm going to show you another kind of hack here. It's just like Google is really good. Site linkedin.com, cheap data, Apollo, or Zoom Info, or Clearbit, or Ample Market. I really just, I'm upset of, director of data engineering, director of partnerships, chief data. Arjun is the guy that I know. And I should just message him and be like, yo, man. So what does this guy do? Vendor partnerships. Okay. Third-party data sources. This looks good. This looks like a perfect person for me. Oh, that just describes what Apollo does. Not as good. Hit your number. I think he left. Didn't he just leave? Yeah. Okay, I actually want to see what. Yeah, he didn't really tell me that. Really interesting. Notice that Google, I didn't mention Uplead. Oh, that's vice president of sales. So I do feel like I'm narrowing on the. Paul's great. I feel like I'm narrowing in on the right person here. So I'm just gonna like go to the company page. You can kind of see how this takes a lot of work here to really investigate the let's look for data to really investigate the right people and understand that your personas are right. Global sales, chief maybe. Oh, data researcher. That's interesting. Let's look at partnerships. PART partnerships. I don't in the Philippines. What about just partner? Okay, maybe not a great fit. Let's see what the CTO does here. Okay, this is great, right? They talk about millions of B2B contacts. So we've started to identify a really good. So we started to identify the right people here with ChatGPT and um, ideal titles. Now let's go into Apollo here, and I just want to see kind of what these folks look like. And I believe we already had an Apollo search. Let's see if I could find it. You know, yes. Yes. Okay. So remember we had that 710 Apollo search. Let's go to people, and let's just type in some of the people in Apollo. Oh, Jordan, let's move. Oh, I really got to get that thing to work. Job titles. All right, data. Whoa, doesn't need to be all capital. Data O, and we want to actually remove researcher. And actually, here we can do this by management level: director, head, VP, partner, C-suite, maybe. Who knows? All right, data. I feel like this is probably the best. Yeah, Lucia, great. Okay, let's actually remove manager here, and let's see what we get when we just go higher up in the chain. Yeah, this feels really right to me. Head of direct data. Okay. So the other thing that that we can do here is, remember, we qualified by company first. This is great. Head of data scientist. This is really fantastic. And actually, I'm good friends with the folks at Metadata. I should ping them. They would be a good. There's not too many people here, but let's actually do something a little interesting, which is let's delete the industries. And let's just do keywords here. Remove internet. Yeah. Lead company data. Sales. I think this is maybe actually just good. So we've got 461 people, and this might be a really good way to identify good data labeling. Really interesting. Yeah, that's finance. So we're going to have to but full contact, that would be a really good person. So we're going to have to remove some of these companies, and some of these actually might be agencies that we'll work with. But really, we want to find who are the sales intels. Oh, I know Gary. Gary's a really nice guy. Boy, Gary's a nice guy. So what we're going to try to do here is just really identify the companies. There's probably not going to be many of them. We might not even automate this because this might be small enough that that we can reach out to some of the network and just do that. All right, well, I'm going to end this here so no one's going to watch the video any longer here. But you can kind of see how we basically will use multimodal targeting here. We're using our Apollo Harmonic to try different things, ChatGPT to help us score companies. We really, really focus on the companies first. We want to make sure that they're growing fast, that they have a big enough user base. They're not too big, right? Because this is a rather new thing, but they have budget, so they can afford it. Ideally, I want it to be transactional, right? So that every time they transact with the data, that I can get more money in my pocket. And the more people that use it, the more they pay. So it's a really, really simple business model. So once we've identified the companies, then we need to go identify the people. And that means looking at their LinkedIn profiles manually. It means asking ChatGPT to help us define who those people are, feeding those profiles back into ChatGPT and say, what are the keywords that might identify that this person is really great for us? How do we know that this company and this person is great? Now, that list building takes a lot of effort, but you can see how it's not a lot of time if you have the right tools and technology and know how to ask the right questions. And what we want to do is when we get the list, we want to manually look at 50 of them and be like, yes, 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 yes. So I am I'm going to ship this off to a new member of my team to see how far he can get with it and see sort of what the next steps are here for us to build a really quality leads list and a quality company list. Once we do that, then we can do things like define the messaging and figure out how we're actually going to attack this. So, yeah, so that's what we're working on. All right. Thanks so much for watching today. And sorry we didn't get all the way to the end here. This is the nature of the ambiguous beast. You have to just keep working at it, But using large data sets, ChatGPT, keywords specifically, you can do a really good job at refining this search and using multimodal searching techniques, right? Use Google, use Apollo, use Harmonic, use ChatGPT to help come up with this, and always give it examples, right? It's really much better with examples. So start with actual true example companies, sort and score your market by both companies and people. And once you've done that, the messaging becomes so much more easier because you know everyone in your list is like perfectly qualified for the niche of the thing that you're trying to do. Thanks so much for watching and have an absolutely wonderful Thursday. Bye.